So, hello everyone, welcome to the video. We are going to discuss the ZS Associate recruitment process syllabus and the test pattern. Now, the process is very long, right? And at each step, there's elimination round. So make sure that whenever you're watching this video, it could be a little long video, but it is important for me to explain you in detail. So which is why if you want to go ahead, you can watch this video in 2x or 1.5x. That's particularly not an issue with me, right? But basically, I want to discuss everything that is there related to ZS, starting from the registration till the process when you are finally getting selected. So there is a lot of complicated things here as well. So let's start. Now, first thing is there are a lot of companies that are already hiring, as you can see. So there are Amazon, Microsoft, Goldman Sachs, Cisco. These companies are hiring. PayPal and JP Morgan are going to be hiring next week. So make sure that you follow us on all our social media channels, especially Instagram, Discord, and WhatsApp, because sometimes we don't post drives on all the social media channels. We just post on one of these. So make sure that at least these three you are definitely following. Telegram is also something that I would definitely be suggesting. The link to all of those are given in the description of the video. Right. Now, also one more thing is, we want to contribute back to the society. So which is why we give the top 3 comments of each and every video. We give Prep Insta Prime subscription absolutely free. So if you're interested in that, you can comment something that could be something that I've missed in the video. It could be something, a good experience of you with Prep Insta, or a very good doubt, anything, right? So, and the results of that are announced on our Instagram and Discord on every Friday, right? Now, first thing is, let's discuss about the online test, right? So, with the ZS on-campus hiring, so I'll divide this video into 2 parts. If you're attending on campus or if you're attending off campus, because there's a slight change in both of them. So if you're attending the on-campus drive, so the platform via which ZS hires is called as Talview or Alma Mapper. So there are not 2 platforms. Both of them are basically the same platform. So basically, let me just tell you, the online test happens on Alma Mapper. The interviews and there's a video interview round, so on and so forth, that happens on Talview. So basically, it's the same product owned by the same company. It's just that there are 2 different products owned by the same company, right? So it's basically, there's a company called as Talview which has a product called as Talview and also Alma Mapper, right? Now the process is divided into 2 parts, and each step is an elimination round, right? So firstly, when ZS would come to your campus, they'll say there's phase 1 and phase 2. So your phase 1 would be a pre-placement talk wherein ZS will talk about their company. It's basically a data science company working very closely with pharmaceutical sector, right? Now, then there's online test, then there's something called as PSDD round, then there's AI based video interview, and then phase 2 has basically a case study round, a EBI plus FIT round, and then there's an offer letter. Again, the platform, as I said, is Talview or Alma Mapper, right? Now, however, there's a very slight change that happens every year if they are hiring via off-campus drives, right? So basically, in the month of December to July, if this is happening, so generally it's an off-campus drive. So in that case, the platform, so by mistake I've written on, so it should be off here. So the platform is, so there's a women's only drive that happens every year, that happens via AMCAT. Then they use Hire Pro and First Naukri, both of them equally. It's not like, okay, they'll use Hire Pro, so it's probably something like Pune's own campuses use Hire Pro, and the Gurgaon office zone campuses use First Naukri because they have a separate HR team probably. So that's one difference. So they do not use Talview or Alma Mapper there. Again, each step is an elimination round. The online test will either happen via AMCAT if it's a women's only drive, or Hire Pro or First Naukri if it's open to everybody, right? Then again, same thing, PSDD, AI based interview, case study, EBI plus FIT round, and the offer letter, right? So that's particularly about the off-campus drive. Now, to talk about the package, and it may change a little depending upon when you're watching the video. This is the latest information that we've gotten. So you can have a look upon it. This is the package and the whole thing. So basically, I think the package is 8.93 as of now. This is for DAA, BTA and BOA. There's another role which has a higher package. I'll talk about that a little later. Now, one more thing is, there's a PDF that we've uploaded in the description of the video. So, you can pause the video as of now, download that PDF. That PDF is related to case study round. So you can check that PDF, and you we'll also be discussing how you'll be solving that case study a little later in the video. So make sure that you first of all pause the video, you download that PDF and have a look upon it, because you will feel the video is long, but you'll see with the PDF that okay, it's worth waiting till the very end. Now, one more thing is we already have ZS Associates already on Prep Insta. So if you go here, we have ZS Associates here on, or basically on our website. So just give me a second, let me just find out ZS. Yeah, so you can go ahead and check the syllabus of ZS Associates. The link to our online course for ZS Associates would be given in the description of the video. Not just, so this is the syllabus that we are covering for ZS, not just ZS Associates, right? Because you cannot buy just one single course. You'll get access to, so it's like Netflix. Just like you can't buy one movie in Netflix, you buy the whole Netflix subscription and get access to all the movies on Netflix. So Prep Insta Prime is also like that. You'll get access to all the different courses: AI, ML, C, C++, competitive coding, data structures, CoCubes, AMCAT, eLitmus, companies like TCS, Microsoft, Goldman Sachs, Cisco, so on and so forth, operating system, DBMS, interview experience of over 2,000 plus companies. And we are also partnered with TCS. So you'll get 2 certifications, one from Prep Insta and one from TCS. We'll talk about this a little more. Also, the ZS Associates dashboard is already there on Prep Insta, so you can go to all platforms and then go to ZS Associates. You'll find all the previous year papers and the case study round and so on and so forth. Attention to detail, guest estimate, syllabus, recruitment process already on Prep Insta. The reason why I'm telling you, because most of the people leave the video in between, so which is why I wanted to tell here. So either you can go ahead with prepinsta.com, which has previous year papers but in like written format, or if you want to go ahead with an online course that prepares you for ZS completely end to end, you can go ahead and check prepinstaprime.com. You'll get access to 150 other courses as well. Right, so let's discuss about profiles now, very importantly, because different profiles that ZS is offering, the interview process and the video interview process also for all of them is very, very different. And a lot of people are confused. Atulya, can you please tell me which profile should I be choosing when ZS is coming? So we'll kind of try to debunk that. So basically there are different, just give me a second. So okay, so I went to back. So basically there are these profiles which are offered by ZS. The first one is called BOA, that is Business Operations Associate. Then DAA, Data Analyst Associate. And then BTA, Business Technology Analyst. And then there's one more called as DSA, which is Data Science Analyst. And this one has a higher package than these 3, and it is not offered in a lot of colleges. This is only relevant for premium colleges. Now, to talk about profile, because you'll be asked to choose which profile do you want to apply for, and it's very important. Some profiles are coding, some profile are non-coding, or basically like operational. So as an example, BOA, right? So BOA basically you can read from here. We'll also upload a PDF wherein ZS officially also has given their job description in the description of the video. So basically, to be honest, this is an operations associate. So basically, you'll be talking with a lot of clients of ZS, try to understand their requirement. Somebody else will be doing the coding work, but you're kind of basically, this is more like an MBA role, right? Wherein you're trying to understand, you're going to client visits, you're taking Skype meetings, you're trying to understand what is their requirement, how can you help them, you are suggesting them measures, you're coordinating everything between the client and the development team like an intermediary role, which is very good. If you're planning to do an MBA, this profile is very, very good. To be honest, even MBAs are hired from IIMs and good XLRI, so on and so forth, for this particular profile of ZS, right? Just that their package is a little higher for the same role, right? So and then there's decision analyst, an analyst associate. So you'll be working on tools. So this is a little bit of coding profile, wherein you'll be working with the tools like Visual Basics, MS Excel, MS Access, SAS, ZS proprietary. So basically you see a lot of data visualization. So kind of to tell you, this is kind of like more like a data science role or big data kind of a role, wherein you're working and creating visual Power BI, Visual Basic, graph, pie chart, so on and so forth. So these companies the clients of ZS Associates can take decisions based upon humongous amount of data that they have. You're kind of chunking down that data into something that a presentable pie charts, graph charts, so that they can make decisions like sales increase, decrease, percentage increase, decrease, where they can reduce cost, where they can increase their marketing spend, so on and so forth. So ZS Associates is a data science company which kind of helps all of these companies to do a lot lot of things, right? Then there's BTA profile. So BTA profile is basically, now to talk about, I forgot to mention, so BOAs, all BTech and BE branches are eligible. Then DAA, all BTech and BE branches are eligible. However, for the BTA profile, only CSIT and circuit branches are eligible. Now, I'll tell you the reason why. Basically, data science and SQL and DBMS is not taught to mechanical, civil, chemical, and all of those people, but it's taught to CSIT and electrical branches. So, which is why, since this is pure coding profile, which is why these branches are only eligible. So you'll work with a lot of technologies, obviously data science and data analytics, but there are other profiles as well, which are web development, Java, backend, machine learning, artificial intelligence, SAS, SAP, Oracle, DBMS, SQL, so on and so forth. So basically, as a computer science engineer or somebody who knows C++, data structures and DBMS and SQL, you'll be working with a normal, like a software company in this profile. Okay. Then there's final, which is DSA. DSA is Data Science Associate, which is basically, so ZS only comes to premium colleges and kind of have a premium requirement that, okay, all the people who are applying for this position should already know machine learning and artificial intelligence and data science. As the profile says, this has a higher package and only premium colleges are allowed for this particular profile. Now, we've talked about profile, which is very important for you to make a decision upon which profile that you should be applying for. Let's talk about the online test pattern. So online test pattern, basically there are two cases. The first case is if you're applying for DAA and BOA, which is basically all branches are eligible, right? So in that case, again, the platform is Alma Mapper. It'll be like a orange color platform wherein you'll give the exam. You'll see there's a lot of orange on the screen, right? So there's no negative marking. There's sectional cutoff, yes. There's overall cutoff also. Now ZS, since it's a data science company, right? So these guys work with a lot of data. So which is why there's data interpretation mandatorily, there's attention to details, there's quants and logical and verbal. So but these two sections are very, very important for them because you are working as a data science, and data has proved that good data science people are good with attention to details and data interpretation. So these are the sections that you cannot miss at all. So this is for DOA. Again, the time given is 75 minutes. You'll have, I guess, 10 plus 10 plus 30, 30 plus 30, 60 questions and 70 minutes, right? Now, moving ahead to the next part, which is for BTA or DSA. Now, BTA and DSA, basically this part remains the same. There's an additional part which is called as technical MCQs. We've seen in the past, sometimes there were 10 questions and sometimes there were 15 questions, right? And it's not fixed. To be honest, we've seen the exam happening on Saturday with 10 questions and Tuesday with 15 questions and then Wednesday with again 10 questions. So not sure how they decided. Probably they are trying to do A/B testing, so on and so forth. So whatever is the scenario, in that case, 90 or 95 minutes are given. So BTA and DSA is the profile. Again, this elimination round. So if you don't clear the written test, you will not go to the next rounds that are already there. Right. Now to talk about the detailed pattern, right? So I'll just okay. So my bad here. So this is not computer science. I forgot to fix that. So this is verbal. So these are all the sections in quants. As you can see, these are the most important sections also that I did not mention here on purpose is something called as Venn diagram. Now Venn diagram is very, very important. Venn diagram and sets. And the reason why I did not write them, because I wanted to specifically talk about all of these sections in detail. These are the most important sections in quantitative aptitude section. Now again, logical reasoning, these are all the most important topics that you can have. Then there's verbal. Again, verbal, these are the most important topics that there are there. And to be honest, one more thing is, a lot of YouTube channel I've seen, some channels that are created by 2021 batch student talent battle, so on and so forth, right? In every video, you will see the same quants, same logical, same verbal. We don't do that here. We actually look at the previous year papers. We spend 7 to 8 days analyzing those previous year papers, and we actually put that in Excel sheet and try to come up with the actual syllabus. So this is the actual syllabus. It's not like, okay, in my Goldman Sachs video, I said the same thing, and in my TCS video, I said the same thing. Every company that Repensa provides is a different syllabus. We don't tell you unnecessary sections that are there. Again, so you'll see here, by the way, So again, with the data interpretation part, there's bar chart, bar chart, pie chart, table chart, spider chart, and rectangular chart. And you'll understand when you'll give the exam, just the same thing that I told you, spider chart and triangular chart. You'll see them a lot, and you never would have heard about spider chart anymore in any different exams from Prep Insta. I know that after this video, there will be a lot of YouTube video made after looking at my video, so now they would have them again. So attention to detail, again, there's attention to detail. So basically they'll give you like so for example, V W V V V V W V V V V V V V and so on and so forth. There'll be like 30-40 different such things. They'll ask you how many V's are there, or they'll give you like O O O O O O O O 0, and then or probably something like B, and there are different ways. To be honest, visual reasoning is also there. So visual reasoning, as all of you know, you have to look at different images, try to figure out a pattern and all of them. Now, in terms of technical MCQ, which is only asked for I guess BTA profile and DSA, not I guess, definitely these two profiles. So these are the sections that you should be having. So if you're an EC student, if you're aiming for ZS, definitely you'll be asked. Maybe you clear the round. And I'll cover that, right? So C, C++, DBMS, input, output, pseudocode, and SQL. There's sectional cutoff also, by the way, in each of these. So I know that a lot of EC people would not have DBMS and SQL already. They wouldn't know that. I know that a few of them will still clear this written round because they may have performed really well in C, C++, and input, output, DSA questions. So let's say DBMS and SQL, there are 5 questions out of 15. Right? Maybe the other 10 they solved very correctly, let's say 9 out of 10. They may go to the next round still, if they perform really good that, right? But still, if you do not know SQL and DBMS, which definitely would be asked in the BTA profile, it is a little hard for you to go to the next round. How we are solving that? Again, in a ZS course also, I just showed you. Let me just go back. So we have a separate course, obviously, on Prep Insta Prime with DBMS and SQL. Here, but even in the ZS course that we are having, right, we are also covering these, just give me a second, right, we're also covering DBMS and SQL as well in a ZS course specifically for it, and I'll talk about case studies and so on and so forth. As you can see, SQL and DBMS is already here, right? So now there's one more section that is called as PSDD round. So PSDD round is basically, if you look at the full form of it, just give me a second. Right. So PSDD round is called as problem solving deep dive. Okay. So now basically what's happening is this one is on the TalView platform. It's basically, let's say AMCAT has 2 different platforms. So let's say one AMCAT software and another video interview kind of a software, right? So which is the same thing. Alma Mapper and TalView are basically 2 products of the same company. TalView is used for interview. Alma Mapper is used for their online test, right? So TalView. Now, this is a little complicated. So, what essentially, and there's one sample that already we've given in the description of the video, so you can go ahead and check that. So, what you would be having here would be a long case study with, not so long, but, a little long case study. And, you will see this case study being repeated again and again. So, this case study rounds are also there in the kind of, so this is like a online test only, to be honest. But I'll tell you a little more about it. Case study round, you'll see a separate case study round a little later. But even in this round, there's case study and guess estimates. So let's talk about all of those. So problem solving deep dive, basically it's in an MCQ format. Okay. Now, what you will be having, you'll be having a long case study with graphs, pie charts, bar charts, and line charts. Right? And then they will ask you a lot of MCQ questions, and a lot of people may feel that there's no correct answer. In fact, all the answers are correct. You are supposed to be choosing which one is the most correct. But to be honest, actually there's a correct answer. You will feel like it's a psychometric, not really psychometric. It's basically related to mathematics, the maths you have to do. But there's actually a right answer there, and you will, when you will give the exam, you'll feel, okay, all the 4 options are correct. Okay, this one seems more correct. But so we'll talk about that. So a sample case study would be, so for example, there's a company that provides some products in the market and a startup provides door-to-door service. So for example, let's say Big Basket. Big Basket is providing providing products. Now because of pandemic, there are people who are not coming to their big basket store, but rather ordering grocery and all of these stuff from uh, I'm sorry, so big bazaar. So let's say people are not coming to big bazaar, and people are rather buying from big basket and grofers. Right now this company is facing a lot of issue because of that, because of fall in revenue, fall in number of people who are buying from there. In terms of what ZS needs to do is, ZS needs to suggest a way so that they can either change their technology or reduce their warehousing costs. And based upon all of these, you have to solve this question. So what they'll give you is, so let's say they'll give you a lot of bar charts and pie charts based upon their inventory costs. Inventory costs in 2019, 2020, 2021. They'll also give you like a bar chart and pie charts of the topmost products that are sitting in the inventory, topmost sold products that are sitting in the inventory. So what you have to do is, you have to do a lot of mathematical calculations based upon all of them. And with that, you're supposed to be coming that, okay, let's say iPhone, or let's say not iPhone, let's say Tata Salt, right? Tata Salt is sitting in Big Bazaar's warehouse. Now they are sending 1000 units every month, but only 100 of them are selling. And so this 1000 unit would be in a different bar chart, pie chart, and this 100 unit would be in different line chart. You're supposed to connect both of them together with a lot of mathematical formulas, and you're supposed to come figure out, the percentage. So percentage of unused products, and for different products, by the way. Let's say Tata Salt or iPhone, or let's say vegetables, or let's say soaps, so on and so forth, right? And then you'll find out the percentage of a product which is the most unused, or the product that sits most idle in the warehouse. And you're supposed to suggest them that, okay, probably you can use a warehouse management system to check upon, anticipation upon which products sit long, which products sell fast. Based upon that, they can increase or decrease the products that they are sending to their warehouses, right? So basically warehouse management system. So basically, one more thing, or one type of more question that I've seen in that particular thing being asked, and if you just give me a second. So, there's also one more option that is called as partner with the startup, so that they can sell their warehouse inventory quickly, but can be wrong. So for example, one of the option that, most of the people saw as correct, and we kind of gave this problem to our Prime Video students, was most of these people thought that this particular option is the correct option, that partnering with the, let's say, Big Bazaar partnering with Big Basket or Grofers, because let's say they have unused product in their warehouse sitting. Obviously this company can use all of these unproducts and sell them. But if you read the reading comprehension properly in that particular case, you'll realize that, okay, this is wrong, because in the reading comprehension it's mentioned that Big Bazaar does not want to help, or does not want to increase the profits or revenue of their rival companies at all, and it may come at a cost of their own profits. So you have to read all of them very, very properly. So that is your PSDD round. So there will be approximately 8 questions with the same reading comprehension. We've also seen sometimes there are some guess estimates also. So guess estimates like, how many black, like you see in the chessboard, right? So there are squares of white and black. How many black squares are there in a standard checkboard that are at even positions? And you have to solve these kind of questions, right? So this kind of question can also be there in your PSDD round as well. So basically MCQ question, you're supposed to be applying a lot of mathematics, and based upon that, there would be a question that, okay, what should Big Bazaar be doing? One option would be partner with the startup company. Second option would be apply warehouse managing system. Third option could be reduce the prices. Fourth option could be XYZ, right? Now obviously all the 3 options seem correct, but what is backed up with data that they've provided with the bar charts and pie chart? That is exactly what you have to look. That is exactly what ZS is hoping for. So that's we'll cover more of these things in the next thing, that is the video interview round. So talking about the video interview round, again, the previous round is also elimination round. So the people who don't clear the PSDD round will not attend the video interview. So that's basically happening on a platform called as Talview. They'll mostly be asking you to download an Android application. I guess once I've explained, my team would also put up a like a video of how that video interview app runs. So that's a free version. You can download TalView app from Google Play Store. So there's a free or there's a trial version in which they ask HR questions. So basically what comes is there's a question that comes on the screen. You're given 10 to 20 seconds to think about that particular question. And then for the next 3 minutes, you're supposed to be speaking about the answer of that particular question. So there are 8 questions. The time given is 30 minutes. There are 30 minutes plus question. I'm sorry, so this is copy pasted from the last slide, so you can ignore this. So what kind of questions are asked? So basically, first of all, there are HR questions. Then there are guess estimates. So guess estimates like, and which is why guess estimates course is really, really important. So guess estimates like how many planes take off from Delhi every year. So there are a lot of approaches in guess estimates. There's top-down approach, there's bottom-up approach, there's level order approach, so on and so forth, right? So you're supposed to be knowing how to solve guess estimates. We are covering the guess estimates in the prime video course of ZS Associates as well. There are going to be a lot of puzzles also. That so, for example, they'll give you, okay, there are 3 coins, or let's say there are 3 people. One of them always lies. One of them always answers. One of them always tells the truth, and one of them can tell truth and tell, for example, this. And you're supposed to think for 20 seconds and answer the question. So basically the same thing. A small case study can also be given. So this is going to be very small case study. One graph chart and or one chart and 2 lines. That's it. It's not like a long case study that you saw in the PSDD or the long case study that you'll see next in the case study round, by the way. And then there for the BTA and DSA profile, there are also going to be some SQL questions. So for example, explain inner join. So the question will display on the screen and it will say explain inner join. And for the next 3 minutes, you're supposed to, again, so obviously that phone application is recording your face and your audio, right? So you look at the phone and you're answering, okay, inner join is this, and for the next 3 minutes. So what they are able to check is, first of all, so it's like an HR interview, to be honest. So on what parameters are they rejecting in this round? First of all, your communication skills. If you do not have good communication skills, you are rejected. So basically the HRs, why this round was introduced, so that HRs do not have to wait for people. There's a lot of coordination. They can, download all the video interview files, and then let's say 100 video interviews, just very quickly play one of them and next, and select and accept candidates based upon their communication skills. Post that, there's a technical person or a managerial person also looking at these things, that is guess estimates, puzzles, case study, and SQL and DBMS. So it's like an interview with the predefined questions common for everybody. So you're supposed to be answering them as correctly, and they are trying to look in terms of your approach to solve guess estimates, your approach to solve puzzles, your approach to solve case study, and your SQL and DBMS knowledge as well, if you're from DSA or BTA profile. So if you're from BOA and DAA, this will not be there, right? So there's an app. I will give the link of that app if possible in the description of the video. I guess my team will also play a trailer for all of you. Now, to talk about the next round, that is called as the case study round. Now, basically, what so happens is, for the BTA profile, there's SQL related case study. For DSA profile, there's SQL related case study. For BOA and DAA, there's the data interpretation based case study. Now, I'll talk about both of them really honest. So again, we'll also put this particular link in the description of this video. You can check an example of one case study also as well. Again, we are covering all of these case studies. I guess 10 to 20 case studies in a prime video course for ZS Associates from all the previous questions that have been asked. So you can also check that. But again, right, so this is an actual, again, a Korean company or a pharmaceutical company wants to launch a new product in India. What will they do? And there's a long case study. So a long case study, like you can imagine a A4 size paper, and that A4 size paper is 8 pages long. So what you're supposed to do is, and they'll upload this file for you or send it to you via email. What you're supposed to do is, you'll be given 1 hour. You'll be given 1 hour. You have to take 2-3 rough papers, and then you have to apply a lot of mathematical formulas. You have to write a lot of English. You have to write all of, so this is basically, I'm explaining for BOA and DA as of now. BTA I'll explain in the next slide, right? So, for example, data interpretation based upon previous year sales performance, month-on-month sales of cars by existing brands. So, for example, what example that I've taken from a previous year paper, a Korean company wants to enter India to sell its cars. So, with the data interpretation, they are given month-on-month sales of cars let's say month-on-month sales of cars before even the company has entered, right? By existing brands, month-on-month sale increase of different car types. So, for example, SUV, sedan, premium brand. Your color preference of people, average income, average sales prices of each type of SUV or sedan or premium. You have to tell the interviewer what could be approach to enter for this Korean company to enter the market. So, for example, I'll tell you. So, my approach. So, for example, let's say I would have figured out that somehow SUVs have the highest growth percentage. So let's say, for example, let's say sedans, there are 12 lakh sedans that sell every year or last year, but there are 5 lakh SUVs that sold last year. But if you look at, let's say this is 2020 data, but if you look at the 2019 data and 2018 data, you'll see that, okay, this was 3 lakh and maybe this was, let's say 2 lakh and this was, let's say 11 lakh and this was, let's say 12 lakh again. So if you look at this, the increase in growth is higher for SUV. So you're supposed to be telling that, okay, and you have to also write percentages that, okay, percentage increase based upon 2019 versus 2020, percentage increase based upon 2020 versus 2021, so on and so forth. SUVs are higher performing. These have higher growth because more people are now buying SUVs. So which is why we must go ahead with SUVs as a company. Again, also a lot of things, right? So average sales prices. With the average sales prices, you'll see that, okay, let's say 7 to 8 lakh rupees car is the highest selling cars. Maybe they'll give regions as well, state by regions as well. So you can say, for example, setting up a plant in Maharashtra is a better choice. Why? Because if you're going ahead with an SUV, in Maharashtra, the average price or average sales price of car is very close to the average sales price of SUV. So obviously sedans, let's say if we talk about hatchbacks and so on and so forth, hatchbacks will cost around 8 to 9 lakhs, right? But let's say SUV costs around 12 lakhs. And if you look at average sales price of different states, so you'll figure out, let's say Maharashtra has 11 LPA as average sales price of a car. So in that case, you can suggest that, okay, set up a base of manufacturing unit in Maharashtra. Maybe the question says so, because your customers or your target car that you're launching customers would be nearby. So the cost of, inventory being sent to different places would be lower in that case. Maybe the question also says that, okay, the company wants to export as well, right? So you can also look upon that, okay, export happens to, let's say, Gulf countries or maybe, let's say, South Asian Pacific countries based upon the charts and bar charts. And then let's say if the export happens in Gulf countries, so rather than setting a plant in Tamil Nadu, it's better to set up a plant in Maharashtra. Why? Because Maharashtra is closer by sea route, right? And if you set up in Tamil Nadu, you have to move around India and Sri Lanka and then go to Gulf countries. So, and there would be a lot of parameters and you'll be confused. But basically what you have to do is on this A4, just give me a second. On that A4 sheet, you're supposed to be writing all of this, explain all of this. But with the help of mathematics, you're supposed to back up your reasoning with the mathematics, with formulas, with this, that, so on and so forth. So this is something that we'll teach you in our online class. So this is something that you have to do. So what will happen next is you're required to upload this PDF or upload this rough work that you've done on 3-4 different pages. Earlier what used to happen, there used to be another interview wherein you had to talk to the interviewer about whatever you've done in the rough sheet, and based upon that there is selection or rejection. But now this has been ignored because of pandemic. What happens is somebody will look at what work that you've done in the rough sheet, and based upon whatever approach that you have in rough sheet, and again, so with guess estimates, there's an approach. You can't be just randomly saying things. We teach you that in our online course, right? Based upon that, they will either reject you, eliminate you, select you for the next round, just basis per what you've done in the rough sheet. And you're given 1 hour till the time you're given a PDF that I spoke about, a 7 to 8 page PDF describing the case study, and 1 hour to upload, scan that and upload that and send it via email or wherever they are asking you to. So this is basically for BOA and DAA. For example, BTA, what you're supposed to do is, for BTA, this is not the case. BTA, what they'll be doing is, they'll be giving you 2-3 different tables. So this is not tables like bar charts, pie chart. This is like SQL table. First name, last name, name of the person, employee ID, age, salary, so on and so forth, like 2-3 different tables. And based upon all of these 2-3 different tables, there would be question like, what all are these tables normalized in 1NF, 2NF, BCNF, 3NF, so on and so forth. SQL queries to do a lot of operations. So for example, they'll tell you, for example, let's say table 1, table 2, table 3, merge all of them, apply, let's say, in a outer join or outer full join, and then apply group by, havings, order by, ascending, descending, so on and so forth. All of those complicated queries. These are not easy queries. You have to also understand you are given 1 hour to do so. So these are not like simple one-line SQL queries that you have to do. These are complicated SQL queries. Again, we are covering all of these complicated SQL queries and case study in our Prime video course, just to tell you after it. Okay. So again, rough sheet, you have to upload it, and then in some colleges, shortlisting is done based upon the sheet. In some colleges, there's an interview after it. But again, we've seen interview is not there anymore. Post that, there's something called as EBI plus FIT round, right? So EBI plus FIT round is basically taken by somebody who's already a manager at ZS, right? So again, obviously a lot of people have been eliminated because of this case study round earlier. Now finally EBI plus FIT round is, so I'll give you 2 examples on what, and you will understand what kind of questions are asked. So firstly, obviously, so this is one example of a student that attended that interview, and more or less this we've seen this remains the same for everybody somehow. Introduction, why ZS, history of ZS. So they'll ask you history of ZS, who's the founder, who's the full form of, what's the full form of ZS, what's in which countries there are offices, what are different clients of ZS, so on and so forth. In-depth discussion about project written on the resume and possible, because again you have to show your project also if you've done your project. So by sharing your screen, you're supposed to be showing your project. Then there are puzzles. ZS interview is not complete without asking puzzles. So this student was asked coin puzzle, jar puzzle, ant puzzle. So again, we have a puzzle course on Prep Insta. Again, if you look, and this is also there in our ZS Associates course. I'll just very quickly show you that. So there's a puzzle course already on Prep Insta. Most of these, companies really love to ask puzzles, like data science companies. So as you can see, there's this puzzles course. I'll talk about that a little later in the end. Then behavioral questions are very, very important. So as you can see here, what is more important, idea or approach? What do you find negative about ZS? Have you worked upon the team? What is the work divided in current team? Many questions upon team management, many behavioral questions. Now, so basically this is for your DAA and BOA. Apart from that, and let me go to the next slide. Right. So apart from that, first thing, BOA plus DAA in the interviews also, again, maybe asked, and maybe not, it's definitely asked. Guess estimates. Again in the interview, definitely. And obviously, BTA plus DSA will also be asked guess estimates. But apart from that, this BTA and DSA are also asked DBMS, C, C++, SQL and data structures as well in their interview, apart from the already existing things that I showed you in the last slide. So the most important things are, again, guess estimates. If you're a BTA or DSA person, so all of these things, history about ZS, puzzles, and stress questions and behavioral questions. So all of these things. Now, in terms of how do you prepare for ZS, and again, we've uploaded some resources in the description of the video. So there are 2 approaches on how do you prepare. So the first is you go to prepinsta.com and you'll go to prepare section, and from the prepare section you can go to ZS Associates here. So basically ZS Associates, you'll find all of these data interpretation, attention to details, case study, guess estimates, video conferencing, syllabus, eligibility criteria, and all of them. Most of the previous year papers are free. So for example, quants, logical, verbal, data interpretation, attention to details. So let's say if you want to solve a particular question based out of probability, you can just go ahead and solve this. There's some free material. Basically for each and every topic, we have free material of about 10 questions, and then there are 2 or 3 more quizzes for each topic. So approximately you have 300-400 questions free, and approximately 1000 to 1500 questions in the paid version of it. But again, there are a lot of questions that are free. If you solve this question, you'll get to know your ranking and your percentile, your graph based upon time-based performance, how many people solved this question before you, how many people solved this question after you. So basically the average time to solve this particular question is 20 seconds, as you can see. So that's one way. Obviously this case study round also is there, so you can go ahead and check the case studies. There are some case studies, those are not actual previous year case studies. What we've done is we've looked at the previous year case studies of ZS, and then we've created our own case studies from them, because those previous year actual case studies, we want to keep it unique for a Prime Video course student, right? So again, you can go ahead with prepinstar.com. There's a good amount of things, right? Apart from that, there's Prepinsta Prime as well. So you can get access to Prepinsta Prime, which, as I told, it's a Netflix kind of a subscription. You don't buy one movie on Netflix, you buy the whole Netflix and you get access to all the movies on Netflix. So just like Prepinsta Prime is the same, you get access not just to ZS Associates course, but also to other 150 plus courses, by the way: AI, ML, cybersecurity, C++, Java, Python, aptitude, daily live classes of approximately 7 to 8 hours apart from all of these courses. TCS NQT, ZS Associates, interview preparation, projects, CS subjects, pseudocode, interview preparation, and more courses are being added every day. So in terms of the ZS, and the link to this is in the description of the video. In terms of the ZS Associates course, you can go ahead and check this particular page. The link to all of this is also in the description of the video. So what we are covering: quants, logical, verbal, data interpretation, SQL, DSA, DSA, C++, case study, guess estimates, so on and so forth. So everything is being covered. You, again, with Prepinsta Prime, you also get certifications from Prepinsta. You also get certification from TCS Ion for internship as well, right? So you can check demo video here if you want. So if you want to understand the quality as well, so there's this trailer that's already playing. I guess by the end of this video, this will also continue to play. Before the ending the video, we'll play the trailer for you so that you can understand. Then there's this demo video. You can check demo videos of internal courses. There are a lot of demo video from TCS course or DSA course or competitive coding course, OS course, DBMS course, AI ML course, face detection, as you can see, so on and so forth, right? So Prepinsta, best quality. You don't need to buy. So the problem that we want to solve that. So let's say TCS is coming to your campus. So you'll buy TCS course, but later on ZS is coming. So will you buy ZS course again from a website? No, right? We don't. People keep on buying courses again and again. And even for skills, AI and ML course. Let's say AI and ML you want to do, but later on you want to do ethical hacking or cybersecurity or data science. So you'll not buy those courses again and again. We want all of these greedy websites to stop having these people buy courses again and again, and just have one subscription and get access to everything that they need as engineers. So which is why Prepinsta Prime was launched. Thank you so much. This was a very long video, and the reason why it had to be because I wanted to explain you in detail, because there's very limited amount of information about ZS. Again, just to reiterate upon all of these things, the top 3 comments on the video get our Prime Video course, Prime Video subscription absolutely free. So if I missed anything, you can always comment down in the comment section. If I missed or if I forgot to explain, let me know. If you have some genuine doubt, let us know. Or if you have some good experience with Prepinsta Prime, just let us know. Top 3 comments, winners get Prepinsta Prime absolutely free. So winners of all of these are announced on our Discord and Instagram, and there are a lot of companies that are already hiring. We put the link of all of those on our Instagram page. So make sure that you follow our Instagram and our Discord and our WhatsApp as well. PayPal and JP Morgan are going to be hiring next week. So thank you so much. If you love the video, just please click upon the thumbs up. I've been speaking for the last 30, 40, 50 minutes. So I hope you can help us, give us some love. Next thing is, make sure that you do subscribe to your YouTube channel, because there are a lot of good videos that we are going to be uploading about ZS as well. So thank you so much. I'll see you up ahead in the next video.